Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's been a while, I didn't post any videos. I've just been kind of having a time off, but I am back now with a new video and I hope it's gonna be very informative for some of you. So this video will be all about how I started making rugs, what you need for making rugs, maybe also the cost. I decided to make this video because making rugs is getting very popular among TikTokers, Instagram. It's a really nice thing to do, but there are not many videos about it and you really have to dig in to find some information. So I decided it would be a great thing to do for someone to easily find this information and be able to do what they like to. So first things first, I started with the punch needling. It is a very easy way to start. You do not need to think much about the cost of it. You don't need to worry if you're not gonna like it. This punch needle cost me £10, $10. It came as a bundle with this little punch needle. I think it's more for embroidery. The hole inside is very tiny. I never use it. I never tried using it. I don't know if I will. That's not the topic. So this punch needle is wooden. That's what I was going for. There are totally different variety of these punch needles. There are plastic ones. There are those that adjust the length of the loop that you will be making. But I went just with a simple punch needle. I will link the Amazon link in the description, so if you want to see what exactly I bought, you will be able to see that. So other things that I needed to start making rugs were a frame, the material, and obviously the yarn. The frame, which is the actual base for making rugs, I was kind of cheeky. I didn't buy the frame. I went to the art shop. I bought myself a painting canvas of a size of approximate rugs I would like to start making. I removed the material of the canvas and I left only the frame. The frame is also kind of adjustable, so each wooden part is separate. So you can also put it aside and don't have to have a full-on frame laying around in your room. The frame, because I made it myself kind of from canvas, it was around £20. So very affordable again, not need to be concerned if you're gonna like it or not a big loss. The yarn that I was using is the paint box yarn, is acrylic yarn, 4-ply, and I mean you can use any yarn you have in your convenience store, online. I did work only with acrylic. I do not want to really work with wool. There is also option of doing it with cotton, but I like the acrylic feel much better, and it is a perfect size for punch needling. The material that I used to buy was from Amazon. It's called monk's cloth. The price for it was insanely high for just the material. Approximately for one rug at around 60 centimeters to 50 centimeters cost me £40, and it is a lot. But now I found a new seller on Etsy that is selling the monk's cloth at much smaller price. The average price for me for one rug, the same size as I was making with punch needling on the smaller frame with the old material, would be £20, so half cheaper. You can go even cheaper with the burlap, but it is very thin and you need to be very accurate on how much pressure you give on that material. So the next thing I bought for the punch needling was a stapler. Now this is a construction stapler because I had to put it in the wood to make sure that the material is tight. and stays on the frame all the time, that I'm putting pressure on it. I saw this tip from Kerry Goat. He uses stapler to staple the material to the frame. Right now I have a bigger frame, but I will speak about this a little bit further in the video. And the last thing that you would need to make the rugs the punch needle way, you don't have to, but I think this is the best way to finish off those rugs, are these very thick needles. This is to finish off the rug to make a nice binding. I will put a link to the video on what I'm talking about right here, so you can go and have a look what I mean by binding. To finish off the rug, you will need a glue. So to start off, I have been using a PVA glue and it worked perfectly. I have nothing to complain about PVA glue. It is very affordable as well, and it holds up the rug really well. So now that you have tried to make the rug with the punch needle and you decided that you like it, you are ready to give the time, you have the patience to finish it off, and you just enjoy the process. That's the time when you can start thinking about a gun to make the rugs. I'm pretty sure you've seen so many of them on Instagram, YouTube or TikTok of people doing rugs with the gun. There are two types of guns. There is a loop pile and a cut pile. The loop pile will make loops just the same way as you have been doing with the punch needling, and cut pile will just cut that yarn and just leave kind of cut yarn pieces. That's what I have, and I am so far enjoying it very much. The timing for the delivery of these guns is insanely high. I've been waiting for my gun for approximately 2 months. Now, the cost of making this kind of rugs is much higher than punch needling. That's why I think everyone who thinks to start off should start with a punch needling, unless you're rich, of course. So the gun that I bought, and also just in average, they cost around $250, £200. I got mine I think for £180. So again, in the same price range. So the machine itself is very heavy. It's about 3 kilos. So you need to be very careful with your wrists, because you're going to be working on your rugs for a very long time. So what I just went to a local pharmacy and I bought this wrist support. I think it's more like for sprained wrists, but it kind of holds your wrist in one position and takes a little bit of load off of your hand. Now I still get, tired and my hand still hurts, but not as much when I didn't have this thing. So I would advise you to buy it straight away together with your gun. Now for the gun, you will probably need a bigger frame. This of course depends on the sizes of the rugs you want to make and on the initial size of the frame you had for your punch needle. Some people have the frame that they can just put on top of the table and just kind of lock it and work in it. Now I have made, together with my boyfriend, a huge frame. It's 1.5 meters on 1.4 meters. So it is huge. It stands on the legs. I will also put a link to the video here so you can go and check how we did it and how it looks. So I made it with the legs just so I have support for it to stand, and I can stand and work rather than sit maybe and have problems later on with my back and neck. As well as for the frame, I have added a carpet grippers. So I no longer use the staple for the big frame. It would cost a lot and it just takes time. With the carpet grippers, first of all, you don't do any wasting the staplers, and you just reuse it all the time. It's just there on the frame. So basically I just take my big piece of cloth, I tighten it up on the frame, on the carpet grippers, make sure it's nice and tight, and I just leave it there to start on my work. Now with the bigger frames, you need to know that you need to have kind of a plan for which rugs you want to make, because if you're gonna make a smaller piece and you will still have so much space for other rugs on the side, you cannot just cut out a piece of that carpet you have made. You will need to finish off the rest of the spaces just because of the tightness of the actual cloth. You will not be really able to reuse it. It's not going to be tight enough. The carpet grippers for the frame, I bought them for very long carpet gripper pieces. They were £20 if I'm not wrong, and I used just half of them, so for a big frame like mine it cost me £10. The actual frame that we built came up to £60. So as you can see, the initial cost of the investment into the machine is quite high, and you need to know that the orders and sales might not come straight away. You need to be consistent with your experience, and just overall on the social media, it might not happen for you exactly the same as it happens for other people, and you just need to be doing it for yourself rather than as a sort of income. So this is it for today. We covered some of the prices and the investment of this carpet making. I really hope you got some information from this video. In the future I will make another video about the tips and tricks I have learned on the way in regards to the Tufting Gun. There are a lot of different things that I wish I had known before I started. So thank you so much for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.